Eso es incluso anterior a Adán y Eva. ¿Cómo es posible?
Es posible que estuviéramos equivocados.
What message do you get from it? About his honor that is betrayed.
Yeah.
Yes, he's betrayed, and
That's one of the themes, of course.
Yes, of course. So,
And in the end, he has to go on living his life, and he dies, of course. He never finds out, which is very tragic and very unfair. Of course, that's an important theme. But the domination of the church in Spain at that time was also very unfair and incorrect, in my view. Fundamental beliefs of the Catholic Church are not something that I follow, or any church or Christian beliefs. You know, dictatorial. They were dictatorial. They dictated to the families how to behave. If you didn't go to church on a Sunday, and you didn't go to Mass and didn't confess, you were considered a bad member of society. That's there too, in the character of Conchita. She's very, very divided by that. That love for her family, for her husband, and the way the church tries to dominate that. Outrageous behavior by the church. Thank goodness that doesn't exist so much anymore. So, although this film is set in 1880s, it does deal with those modern issues. That's true, absolutely. In those days, the woman was very much subservient to the man, the mother or the woman on the whole. And this woman stands up for her beliefs. I shouldn't speak for you, but she stands up for she is Conchita. I believe this. Why do you do this to Marcelino? She challenges him. Of course, those themes are there. And in the end, she comes through. She doesn't abandon it, but she sees the lies that are going on in the church from the bishop. She comes to terms with that and deals with her husband, and decides to give in and go and see the paintings. And she, like everybody else, when they look up and see these beautiful paintings, she cannot but be affected by it and overcome by them, the beauty of them.
First of all, we were filming in Cantabria, which is probably one of the most beautiful places I've been. And thankfully, it wasn't raining as usual in Cantabria, that it rains a lot. We were working, the crew, they were the most beautiful people, like Rochi, like so many people that now they're my friends. I never forget them. It was amazing. And of course, we knew that the story is happening in Spain, in Cantabria, but we are telling a universal story. So as you see, like I remember, Hugh was very concerned about, he didn't want like the costume to be very Spanish, or no, it was something that was happening in the beginning of 19th century, end of 18th century, and it was a universal story about a family, about a story of betrayal, and a man who was never rewarded for what he's done in his lives. But it was amazing working in Spain.
I think it's essential to make films in a language which is more universal than just Spanish. Spanish is an important language, of course, but what is the problem with making a film with English director, Spanish writer, English writer, Spanish money, Spanish producers, Spanish story, English American American distributor, Fox. It's the cinema is completely global. We live in a global world of communications, and I don't see the problem. You can turn it into Spanish if you want to, you can turn it into French and German, but many people speak English. English is the lingua franca at the moment. Maybe in a few years' time it'll be Chinese. We'll be making films in Chinese. And if you make films that cost money, this is not a cheap film. It's not a very expensive film, but it's not cheap. And if people put money up, you want to give them a chance of getting their money back. Very important. Otherwise, you stop making films. And I'm a filmmaker. I want to go on making films.
Thank you.